Yo, yo, yo. So what I usually do when I'm looking for a type of trade, kind of what I usually do is I go to a higher time frame gap. Like in this case, this is an hourly gap. So I go to the 5 minute, and then I'm starting to look for previous lows previous lows inside, and then you can see that this is the low right here. So let me just put a horizontal here. Yo, yeah, so what I kind of see is we usually go to a previous low inside of that gap. So I'm wondering if it's going to need to come here first. But it goes back to kind of what I was looking at first. I think it's going to need to come up here. So my idea is that I think it's going to need to come up here, down here, and then like that. Because it's going to need a... And then if you kind of think about it, I believe that'll go into the second quarter also. So it goes back to, this is the first quarter, this is the second quarter. The SMT is going to be between these two quarters. So this is probably going to be your first low, and then your next low is going to be down here at these levels that I was thinking. So I kind of want to see if that'll play out. Going back to the idea of that this was like a close below. So when I notice a close below, then if this is going to continue down, it usually comes back up, like I say, to your first fair value gap, and then comes back down and breaks the low. So what I'm kind of seeing is, if this starts to move up, because this was a close below, then you go back to the higher time frame. If this is your first fair value gap, or this is your first fair value gap, depending on how it's going to consider it. But my idea would be that what I've seen happen before is it usually goes to the first fair value gap, which is this one. And the reasoning why is that it needs to go high enough to make you think it's going to be going even further. So it does take, and it's also like, this is all unfilled orders. So if this is kind of like unfilled orders, then the idea is it's going to at least come over here to probably fill these orders before getting rejected, going towards these levels like I was expecting. So kind of the way I see it is this way, is that I believe it probably, this is what I think, it needs to go up. So in order for it to go up, it's not just going to go straight up. It has to do this to make you think it's going up, so it could put it down to make you think it's a sell. And then by the time you think it's a sell, they flip it to go bullish. And so there's going to be, I believe, one more opportunity down at these levels before the real move up. And it goes back to, it's also understanding that which quarter time is happening on. This is the second quarter right here. So I believe the low is going to need to be on the right side of this line right here. So if this low is going to be somewhere over here, it's going to need to be something like that. Let's see if we're still online. Yes, we are. So you guys are able to, hopefully you heard that. So, and it goes back to kind of what I'm saying though, is that it's not going to go straight up and it's not going to go straight down. It has to go both ways in order before the real move. So in this scenario, let's say it needs to go up. It's going to go up, go down, and then up. Vice versa. If it needs to go down, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, and then down. So it needs to like take people out, needs to make people think it's going one way. And then it goes back to understanding that this is the fourth quarter. That's where the move, I believe, will happen at. Will be somewhere in this fourth quarter. And where I think it could probably happen though is going to be the London. It's going to be the London low. So if it, see, this is, we're still in the Asia low right now. So what I think is going to happen right now, I think it's going to push up right now. It's going to push up to these levels right here. at least to these levels. This is only 20-30 pips though. So I just want to see what, like I said, I want to see, let's see, from here to here, it's only 20-30 pips. So what I kind of see is at least this. And from there to there would be 27 pips. Down this way is 33 pips. But where I would want to take my trade is somewhere down at these levels, because right here is all just trying to like, it's trying to trap people. So it's trying to get buyers and sellers stuck in here. So if you don't get in on the right area, you know, it's going to be a wild ride. But that's why I'm kind of thinking is that if I just wait for the plan will be somewhere down here. If I could wait for the move to happen here, then I know my stop shouldn't be too low. Like I shouldn't need crazy stops, because if it makes a low, it should, yeah. All right, so here it goes. It's starting to go up. But this is the thing, like I'm kind of saying about this being like that market structure shift idea. So like I say, what happens is it closes below here, and then it usually targets the first one before coming back down. So like I'm saying, because I think these levels are the levels that need to be tapped still. But like I'm saying is that it's not going to go straight down. It needs to make you think you're bullish, so it could make it bearish, so it could make it bullish again. So that's the idea. So I think, like I said, it's still gonna push up here and then get rejected. And that's what I said. If I could pinpoint exactly what's happening with the next few moves, like if I know, okay, boom, it's gonna hit here, and then it's gonna break this low, and then if it breaks this low, it should start setting up somewhere around these areas. And if it's not this area, then I have to figure out which area it is. But what I'm figuring out is it could be even one of these areas over here. Something like maybe here, like right around that 50 level. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving. Good, good, good. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Because you know what? Watch. Let me see something. So look, this will be your first push away. It's probably, possibly, damn, I'm wondering if it could possibly come over down all the way over here. Where it could possibly come all the way up to these 75 levels, like you're saying, which is around 82. Because what this kind of looks like is like an OTE, but like, you see something. Alright, so we have these levels right here, so I just want to put this here, so I know that's that level. That's possibly that level. And you can see we got rejected here before, so if we are making lower lows. Because the thing is what I'm getting from this is that this is like a false move down. It's not a real move down. So the thing is it needs to make it, like I said, like lower high, lower high. It's doing everything you would think to keep going down, but I don't believe it's gonna go down. I think it could even break this high. Yeah, so let's see. But okay, so it goes back to kind of what I'm saying is I believe this area needs to be tapped, whether that's right now. But the thing is I could show you the example where it just happened at exactly right here. Look, I want to show you the exact same thing. Right? I want to show you. Look. Well, actually, boom, boom, right here. Okay. You see how it got rejected right here at the 75? What happens is it did the same thing. Look, it made like lower high, and then eventually made the higher highs, and it went up to the 75% of the range, and then it did come down. So I'm wondering, damn, there it goes. Okay, so now we're at this level. So like I said, that's why I'm kind of saying is you could kind of see this where this is possibly heading, where if that's the level, it could be like somewhere up there. If that's the thing, like it's kind of doing that same thing where if it does that, it could possibly go up to these levels. But this is why, this is also like what I'm thinking though, because like I was saying about it can't move up until, like it can't move up until I believe it hits these levels somewhere down here. So my idea is that, back to what I was kind of saying about this being this OTE idea, where if it needs to come up here to the 75 level, that would be an idea for it to keep going down lower. But since I'm saying it needs to come here to go up, it could possibly get rejected from here now, go to these levels, and then come back up here. But when it goes back to this level, like how we would think it needs to get rejected, it's actually just going to blow through it. And then it goes back to the idea of where I was saying is I believe this needs to be tapped. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Let's see. So right here is going to be a decision level. So I think in these areas is where it's going to be a, like I say, this is the decision level. So it's either going to hit here, get rejected, or it's going to hit here and blow through it. And this is like the level that's important. But it goes back to kind of what I'm saying. Okay, like what I'm saying is not, it's something I found on my own. Like the way I've been able to read it, whereas like how I say about when it does get this break below, it taps the first fair value gap. That's how I even knew it was gonna go this way. So following that plan, what usually happens is, like I'm saying, is now it's gonna target these levels. And these are the levels where it's gonna close below something like this, and then it possibly the next ones will start to move up like that after that, and then New York go like this and then continue up like that. Let's see. Yeah, I do think we're gonna go through that 86 at some point. But my idea is that it's obviously not just gonna go straight up like that, right? So it's gonna need a cap. It's gonna need to get some traders in the wrong direction, meaning if it's gonna go up, it needs to make people think it's going down, so that way it could go up. So that's where I'm kind of saying is that this right here, you would think it's a liquidity sweep. Oh yeah, perfect. But then what if they end up doing it one more time and then that be the real one? It's just like I said, I'm thinking they're trying to, well, not just like a person, but they're just grabbing liquidity right now. Because it's not just gonna just go straight up and come straight down. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's creating the liquidity, and the way it creates the liquidity is by not letting something go straight up. It lets it go. Let's see, from here to here is 50, 60 pips now. So I do believe it's gonna start coming down. So if you're in somewhere right here, let's see, that's 30 pips. And then this right here is 50, 60 pips. That's like a 1 to 2. It's not too bad. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying as too, is that I think they're creating the liquidity. So the way they create it is, like I say, is they get people stuck on the wrong side of it. So this right here is to make people, I mean, it goes back to this. It's only a correct sell if you were able to like close in a profit and go break even and things like that, to where if it ends up going back bullish and you didn't close partials, you didn't break even, things like that, that's when it's not a good trade. So you just got to make sure, like say if you're managing it correctly, what it would look like. So if this breaks this, it looks like a possible celery play right here. So what usually happens is the break of here, is the way it goes, but it broke the low and now it's breaking the high. So let's see if it keeps going. All right, let's see. And that's that level. That's still this fair value gap. So that's what I would want to see. And from here to here, it's 50 pips. Oh, that thing is moving now. Okay, so let's see, even up to here maybe. Let's see how that goes. Pips. Yeah, we get rid of that one. Get rid of this one. Oh, I see what that was. That's what that one was. Alright, so let's see what sessions we're looking at. So we got an Asia session there with a high and a low. So I guess this is the new high and low that we're targeting, which is going to be the Asia high and the Asia low again. Just like the last week, that was, if you remember, that was the weeks, that was the area we were trading. What up, Mugs? What up? Same thing. See how all these sessions are just inside of this. So that means that's a lot of accumulation. So what's going to possibly happen now is there's a manipulation, but there's also one right here. So now let's see what happens. Is it going to go up, or is it going to come down first and then go up? Probably, I think. And yeah, like I said, I see this needing to be this SMT right here. All right, so let's see. So that's that 50% line. What's good, Mugs? What up? Nothing, man. Just chilling. You know how it is. Trying to trying to find a good trade. I took a trade earlier too, so I'm not too crazy about a trade right now, but I want to find a good trade. Is that what caused it? That Trump tweet? What did he say in the tweet? Firing Fed Governor Cook. Oh, damn. That's crazy. Bro, I did 20K in payouts from Top Step this month. Damn. I was expecting like 20 pips lower for the 50% of the big move before that rally. Yeah, nah, for real, bro. Damn. Hey, but that's what's up, Mugs. Keep doing your thing, bro. Keep doing your thing. You know what? And then this 30 minutes gonna close. It actually 30. The 30 already closed. So no, this is about to close right now. Oh no, it did close. Been farming payouts, bro. Haha. Yeah, damn, that's what's up, bro. Keep farming them. Hey, y'all, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute it. Yo, I'm back. Let's see. Or you know what? That's actually what I'm thinking. Now that I'm thinking about it. So what I think it's gonna do, it's gonna come up here and then it's gonna go down like that. That's gonna be the move right there. Now that it hit me. And this is 60 pips still. So it's gonna come up here. Let me see, 15-minute. This would be here. That would be here. So that would be your first area, at least here. I believe. So yeah, that's my idea right there. And this area that I have is here. Here's your first right there. It would kind of be oh, you know what? Then that would be it, right? Yeah. So it's either going to be this level to that level. That's only, it's an 8 pip difference. It's not that crazy. Yeah, so it's going to go that way. So let's see the price. Oh man, my bad. I forgot to put the price right here. Price label. Okay, I think it's gonna go right here. Let's see. what's kind of crazy is that's the same thing that happened right here, though, is what I'm kind of figuring out. That's what exactly this was. The same idea. Look at this. Look. Lower high, right? And then when you put the fib on there, you got it from your first rejection, which is right here. Boom, right there. Boom, right there, right? And look at, there's your tap. And that was the move up to there to come back down to these levels before sweeping back up. So I think that's the same idea that it's going to happen, is that if it does come here, this is going to be the sweep back up so it could go back up. So I think at 82 is, yeah, where it's going to get this rejection. And then this 82 level is also the fill of this gap. You can see this gap right here, right underneath it. Yeah. All right, there we go. Starting to push right to these levels. Oh, we're pushing. Yeah, we're still pushing, 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 pushing.